59 assembly constituencies spread across 16 districts of Uttar Pradesh are voting as we speak in third phase of the polls. Voter turnout till 9 this morning was 8.15%. Akhilesh Yadav along with his wife Dimple reached Sci-Fi to cast their vote. Akhilesh and Dimple also spoke exclusively to India Today and said that BJP government looted the state for 5 years and people of UP now want change. Meanwhile, his wife Dimple said that BJP has only tried to create false perceptions. The crucial Karhal seat that is also voting is witnessing a battle royale between Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh and BJP candidate SP Baghel. The BJP had approached the Election Commission seeking deployment of paramilitary forces at all the booths in Karhal. Samajwadi Party chief's uncle Shivpal Yadav is contesting from his traditional Nagar seat. As many as 627 candidates are in the poll fray this phase, in which over 2.15 crore people are eligible to vote. At least 8 districts lie in the Yadav belt. Going straight across to Amit Bhardwaj, who's joining us from Hathras, Abhishek Mishra joining us from Sci-Fi. We've got Shreya Chatterjee from Jhansi, Milan from Kanpur, Abhishek Khan, and we've got a battery of reporters joining us for all the very latest. Let's begin with Abhishek Mishra. Abhishek, what are you picking up in terms of the voter turnout this morning? How has it been? It's a crucial one as far as the Samajwadi Party is concerned.
Well, absolutely, and so far, till 9 a.m. in the morning, 8.15 was the overall percentage, and 11 a.m. Result will come soon about the voting trends. But it is very important, specifically for Etawah and Mainpuri, and this whole belt, which comes under the Yadav belt. Samajwadi Party is eyeing all these seats, which were very significant for them in 2012 when Akhilesh came into the power. And this time, SP Singh Baghel, who is against Akhilesh Yadav in Karhal, has said that, this time BJP is going to dent this particular seat the way it has done in Amethi back then. It is a very important thing, Chetty, that we need to understand that this particular area, be it Etawah, Mainpuri, Farukkhabad, Kannauj, Etah, Auriyya, Kanpur, all these seats are going to be very significant because BJP in the last election has got a very good, performance in these seats, winning more than 90% of these seats. On the other hand, Akhilesh Yadav and the Samajwadi Party is eyeing at their bastions. They are trying to get most of the, margins on these seats. So the fight is very intense. And Akhilesh, when he came here after, casting his vote, has again repeated that it's all about the margins. Shivpal Yadav, we spoke to him. He was also very confident. He said his victory is very clear. It's only about the margins, and he and Akhilesh are actually fighting for the margin in both the seats. So that is what the Yadav family has to say. But BJP, on the other hand, with their equations on these seats, had tried to get the mandate in their favor. Seats like Kanpur, Farukkhabad, Kannauj are going to be very important for the BJP because they have been successfully able to dent there in the last election. But today, the picture which came out, it was all about Mainpuri, it was all about Etawah, where Akhilesh Yadav stood by with the family, and the picture came where all the Yadav family members came out of their houses, voted and appealed to the people, and at the same time guaranteed that SP is coming back. Specifically third phase is going to benefit them with a big margin.
And will the Yadavs hold on to their bastion? That's also one big question right there. What is the sense that you're picking up, Abhishek, as far as the Yadavs and their bastions are concerned?
Well, we need to understand one thing. Yadav community and the vote percentage, specifically in this seat, is significant because they are big in numbers. But if I talk about the non-Yadav OBCs, be it Shakyas, Lodhis, Baghel, Kurmi, all those votes are going to be very important for the BJP. We have to remind this that in 2017, BJP was successfully able to dent the Yadav community, and there is a significant amount of vote share with the BJP has shared in 2017. But this time, Akhilesh is very keen on not only, getting the MY factor in his favor, but at the same time also, he has given a lot of tickets to the non-Yadav OBC candidates, which was also reflected in his candidate list. So that is something Akhilesh is also eyeing. But as I've earlier said, that this time it's all about the margins as well as the Samajwadi Party is concerned. BJP, on the other hand, is eyeing those seats where the SP and the BSP candidate is weak, and there will not be much of a difference between both the candidates. So that is something, a picture is coming out. Third fit is very important in terms of, setting the narrative for coming phases.
Let me take this across to Milan as well. Milan, what is the voter turnout looking like? It's 11:30 a.m. by the watch. What would you say as far as the voter turnout is concerned?
Well, in Kanpur, there's been a good voter turnout. We're at the polling station where there's been continuous lines and queues of voters who have come out to vote. But I will speak to a few first-time voters who've come here. Tell me your name. How old are you?
Gauri. My name is Gauri and I'm 20 years old.
20 years old. You're a first-time voter. What is a voting issue for you? Please don't tell us the party name. Please don't tell us the candidate name.
Like a voting issue for me, I'm a student of architecture. So being a student of architecture, like here at Kanpur, there are some colleges, like only Access College, which is having architecture they are supporting, and plus there is no exposure for architecture. Like some exposures are there, but they are too far away from our houses. So if there would be more colleges, more institutes of architecture, so we would prefer, like we would stay at our hometowns, and then we can go to colleges and all.
And you don't need to travel far. Your brother is here as well. So what's your name? How old are you?
Yes, Kapoor, I'm 19.
Okay, you're 19, so you're younger than her. What's the voting issue for you in Kanpur?
I'm currently studying in MAC, Kanpur, and I'm pursuing the course of animation. So there's no scope of animation, I can say.
There's no, job for you here with regards to the animation.
Job?
Okay, new skill. That's a new skill, right?
Yes.
Well, Chaiti, it was always refreshing to speak to first-time young voters because they have a very fresh perspective on what the elective issue should be like. But talking about Kanpur and 10 seats of Kanpur that we have here, where the BJP won 7 seats and the Samajwadi Party got 2, while Congress got 1. We have a turncoat MLA from BJP, Bhagwat Saraswat, who went from the BJP to the Sapa. So the scoreboard has tilted as well, but we'll have to wait and see whether the BJP is able to bring back that win that they had in 2017. We're also looking at some hot seats. Where I am right now is the Maharajpur seat from where the industry minister Satish Mahana has been winning for 7 consecutive terms, and this will be his 8th if he wins from here. We're also looking at the Auriyya Nagar seat. Also, the Vikas Dubey's encounter was a huge issue. Vikas Dubey's sister-in-law has been fielded from one such seat in Kanpur, and also the seats of Sisamau,
speaking about issues, Milan, let's also get in a quick sense of the Hathras issue and how that is playing out as well. It was a horrific crime in Hathras that we had reported. Amit Bhardwaj is standing by right there. Amit, are the voters keeping in mind all that transpired as far as the brutal rape and murder of the Dalit girl in Hathras is concerned?
Chaiti, in fact, I'm standing in the Bulgari village, which is the village of the Hathras gang rape victim, where the horrific incident happened, and she later died because of the crime which was committed in this particular village. And this is the house of the Hathras gang rape victim. And we spoke to the family, to the brothers exclusively, where they are saying that, they are not happy with the progress of the case, and they have said that they have not been given the job that was promised by the government, and neither the house has been given to them as promised after the incident. And one more important thing is that this particular family is going to cast their vote. They will leave from their house and with security, along with the security. And they are saying that this time around, the only issue on which they are going to cast their vote is going to be the law and order of Uttar Pradesh. And they said, and I will just repeat those words, they said in Hindi कि हम नहीं चाहते जो हमारे परिवार के साथ हुआ वो किसी और परिवार की बिटिया के साथ हो. So that is what is on their mind when they'll go out to cast their vote. And in fact, if you talk about the 3 constituencies of Hathras, definitely this is an issue that is coming, that is in the mind of the voters as they reach out to vote polling stations, while the Hathras SC, that is reserved seat, might be a little easier battle for the Bharatiya Janata Party. But as far as two other seats are concerned, that of Sadabad and Sikandra Rao, this factor is going to trouble the Bharatiya Janata Party a lot, along with the caste combination, the way caste combination is playing out in these two constituencies. Speaking about Sadabad, you know, there are huge...
Singh Yadav about to cast his vote. We are getting you those visuals at the moment. Mulayam Singh Yadav going out there to cast his vote, cutting across to the live visuals that are coming in. Voter turnout is at 21.1%. We just broke that story a while back in the state of war, Uttar Pradesh, till 11 a.m. Voter turnout 21.1% overall. Mulayam Singh Yadav right there, going out there to cast his vote. We're getting those visuals that are coming in at the moment. Karhal continues to lead voter turnout at 24.1% till 11 a.m. and voter turnout in Hathras is at 21.2% till 11 a.m. At the moment, on your screens, what we are bringing to you is Mulayam Singh Yadav going there to cast his vote. Those visuals on your screens. You can also see Akhilesh Yadav on your screen right now. Abhishek Mishra getting us more inputs on this. Abhishek, throwing straight across to you. Mulayam Singh Yadav going out there to cast his vote. We're also bringing out the voter turnout percentages, where Karhal continues to be in the lead at 24.1% till 11 a.m.
Well, certainly, Chaiti, the voting trend is going to be very significant. It is showing that the fight in Karhal is getting more intense. But the breaking news is that Mulayam Singh Yadav has just reached here a minute back, and he will be casting his vote in a short while. All the members of Yadav family, most of them has already casted their vote. Akhilesh came along with Dimple Yadav, Tej Pratap Yadav, Ram Gopal Yadav, Shivpal Yadav, all have already casted their vote. But right now, Mulayam Singh Yadav is inside. And we've also seen, Chaiti, how Mulayam came, in front too, along with the family members. He not only addressed a rally, a public meeting in Karhal in favor of Akhilesh Yadav, but he also, ride a chariot, the Vijay Rath, along with Akhilesh Yadav and Shivpal Yadav, and has spoken about, appeal to the people to make sure that the SP get a good margin this time. So as we have been discussing, this whole, battle for third phase is all about the Yadav belt. It's all about the Samajwadi Party bastion, and that's the reason that Mulayam Singh Yadav, although he's not, he has health issues, but he's still, managed to reach there at the public platform, asking for vote for Akhilesh Yadav and standing by with Shivpal Yadav, because there has been a lot of speculations over Shivpal not happy, but time and again Shivpal has said the same thing, that he has sacrificed the party in order to make sure that, SP gets most of the mandate, and also to defeat the BJP in this election. And all the members of Yadav family have came along together this time, in in contrast to 2017, which was a major drawback for the Samajwadi Party, lost in those elections. But this time, all the members are there, and Mulayam Singh Yadav is currently...
In from Sci-Fi, which is the native village of Samajwadi Party patriarch Mulayam Singh Yadav, who just you saw, he's casting his vote. We saw those live visuals coming in, and accompanied by Akhilesh Yadav as well. We've got a battery of reporters tracking every little development for you. Shreya Chatterjee also joins us from Jhansi. What's the latest, Shreya? What is the sentiment amongst the electorate that you're picking up in terms of the issues around which they've come out to vote and decide which party they are going to be voting for? All right, senior journalist Sharad Pradhan is now joining us. Mr. Pradhan, appreciate you taking the time out. Very good morning to you. How do you see this entire phase panning out in terms of the real issues that the voters and the electorate cares most about this time around, Mr. Pradhan?
Well, I think what is likely to make a lot of difference this time is the reunity that has been struck within the Yadav family. My reading is that they suffered very badly in the last election in this region, which was traditionally known as the Yadav belt. A large part of it was called the Yadav belt. was because of the family feud within the Mulayam Singh family. And with the result that people ticked them off, and they felt that somebody who can't keep the family together, how are they going to do anything about the state? But in this election, Akhilesh has very successfully been able to send the message across that the family is reunited, and that will certainly make a difference and the manner in which the BJP has reacted to that reunity also shows that BJP is quite uncomfortable with the issue. After all, they had won 49 of the 59 seats in 2017. So, when you are at the peak, you can only come down. That, of course, is an unwritten law. But the point is that how much do they come down? It is felt that Akhilesh has been able to stitch very good non-Yadav OBC alliances also. It is believed that, the manner in which a lot of OBC leaders, 3 of ministers in the Yogi government and 11 MLAs, they switched sides at the 11th hour when the election was already declared. And that certainly makes a difference. There are many of them from this region, which is going to poll today. And also in the future phases. So it is believed that this is going to make a lot of difference in favor of the BJP. And mind you, in case the non-Yadav OBC vote works for Akhilesh Yadav, then this third phase, the first 2 phases having already been understood to have gone against the BJP in a big way, this third phase may, for all you know, may set the tone for the final verdict of this election. Because,
and as far as all the issues are concerned, from the plethora of issues and the fact that, a lot of this is caste-based as well, anything from the pandemic and the management of it, as far as the COVID pandemic is concerned, is weighing on the voters' mind as they go out there to exercise their franchise?
I feel it will. And no matter how much the BJP might have worked to overwhelm people with, with a lot of publicity, that it was a great management and it was unprecedented management, but people who have suffered, remember, and we have seen with our own eyes as journalists, how people were compelled to immerse bodies in the rivers, to bury bodies in the rivers because there was no way they could cremate them. People have seen, and I have also seen myself, how oxygen cylinders, the dearth of oxygen cylinders, unavailability of oxygen cylinders, and absence of treatment compelled people to have no option but to die. And those are the pangs, no matter how much the government might have done subsequently to, cover up all this. For instance, giving away free rations, it is a big issue. The first time there's a term called Labharti. Labharti means beneficiary. So those people who are getting, this is the common feeling in the BJP circles, that free ration and transfer of money, direct money into the people's accounts, may compel them to forget the sufferings that they have gone through during the corona period. But I doubt, maybe it has impact on some people, but eventually people will remember the sufferings that they have gone through during the corona period, and that is largely on account of mismanagement.
So regardless of what the eventual outcome is, and we're not going to draw up any conjectures at this point, whether the BJP returns to power, not returns to power, do you certainly see that the return of the Samajwadi Party this time around is going to be far more stronger, given all that you have said?
Well, as I said, this third election will determine the eventual verdict of the 7th-phase election. Because, 179 seats, BJP had won in the first 2 phases. BJP had won 91 seats. And from what I hear from BJP insiders, they are themselves estimating nothing beyond 35 to 40, which shows that the number could go down. And if in this phase, which has 59 seats, out of 59, 49 were won by BJP. If they come down by 50%, then it'll be some kind of a referendum on what is likely to come. And yes, what I feel is there is a common feeling undercurrent that you see that the vote this time is not to make anybody win. It appears to be more in favor of defeating someone, which is obviously somebody who's in power is to be voted out. And when you see aggression among the voters, this is a common reflection I have seen in through the years. When you see aggressive kind of voting, then it is usually to defeat someone, not to make anybody win. So that is a negative voting. You know, people may not be in very much in favor, or in many places may not be in favor of Akhilesh Yadav or Samajwadi Party. Yet, if they are going to vote against the sitting in the incumbent government, then that reflects on what is likely to happen.
All right, Mr. Pradhan, continue to be with us right there. Our continuous coverage on the elections continues. Phase 3 polls on. Uttar Pradesh, our top focus at the moment. We'll bring you up to speed with the very latest.